Man, these jokers can't even lose right, man. God damn. Let's talk about it.
Shout out to Juan Gotti Talking Sports. You know
Yes,
what it is.
sir.
Shout out Wall Gotti Talking Sports.
The way that we live is not for everybody.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
How do you think the rest of Jaden Daniels' career is going to go? If we're, 6, 7 games into Jaden Daniels' career and he's already milking injuries? Like,
Stop saying my name, you dick riding bastard.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I come to see you again. The Commanders had a clear opportunity to get the 5th overall pick, and we squandered it. All because Dan Quinn wanted to get revenge for a meaningless goddamn game. What's up, y'all? So the Commander season is officially over. Thank God. This miserable season is crazy. Season is over, man. But it could have ended on better terms if DQ's ass was not trying to win. Now, look, realistically, I get it. The players don't try to play to lose. That's just a fan thing. Revo already came on like a week or two ago on Twitter and said, hey, look, with all due respect, I love y'all, but I don't give it about no draft pick. I get it. But as a fan, I'm like, bruh, like, come on. Cleveland already won today. New York won today. Giants. Bruh, we had the clear opportunity to not just get the 5th overall pick, 5th overall pick, but we also had a clear opportunity to have the 4th place schedule. Did y'all see our opponents for 2026? I ain't gonna hold you. We're gonna take a look at it here in a second. But our schedule is brutal, bro. It's brutal. But for me, the way that I'm thinking next year is gonna be what this year was supposed to be. Actually, you know what? As people come in, let's actually take a look at that. Because now that the season's over and the 2026 opponents are set, they're gonna be flipped around though. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously we didn't finish 4th place. We finished better than the Giants, so we're gonna have a 3rd place schedule instead of 4th place schedule. But the opponents don't necessarily change. All of these opponents don't necessarily change. So for majority of these teams, it will remain the same. So look at this. We got Dallas, of course, twice. That's obvious. We already know that was going to be a given, of course, right? Then you got Philly twice. You got the divisional games. You got the Giants twice. Then you got Seattle, LA, Tennessee. Houston. You got Cincinnati up there. You got Minnesota up there. You got again with their vaunted defense. You got the 49. Like next year, you got T-Law. So we played a whole AFC South. We played a whole NFC West. Now, again, I'm not ducking no smoke because I think, again, with the healthy 5, we can beat any of these teams on the roster, on the schedule, of course, right? Like, that's how I feel. But, like, bro, this shit is tough. Like, we don't know what these teams are going to look like next year. We don't know what these teams are going to look like when we get to them. We don't know when we'll play these teams, what week we'll play these teams. That being said, boy, Joe Burrow, I'm just going to go quarterbacks, like, after the rest of the teams. Let's just go quarterback right quick. And then we'll get back to the main topic at hand, which is the draft pick, of course. But I wanted to share this as well because next year's schedule is really tough. But let's just go quarterback matchup. So we got Dak twice. We got Jackson Dart twice, probably. We got Jalen Hurts twice. I don't know what the Colts is going to do. I don't know if they bring back Daniel Jones. They got Sam Darnold twice. You got Sam Darnold once. You got Matthew Stafford. You got CJ Stroud. You got Joe Burrow. I don't know what Atlanta's going to do. And I don't even know if we play Atlanta now because Atlanta won today. So did they finish 4th in the NFC South? Because if whoever finished 4th in the NFC South is who the Giants is going to play. I think they might have finished 3rd. No, they definitely had to finish 4th. No. It was New Orleans, right? New Orleans finished 4th. Okay, so we will play the Falcons. So for whatever reason, we cannot escape the Falcons. I told y'all what I said. What did I say when we played the Falcons in Atlanta? When I went out to ATL, what did I say? I said they might as well add Atlanta to the NFC East because for whatever reason, we cannot escape these bastards. But I'm happy. I'm glad he's on this roster, on this schedule, because dumb, excuse my French, Bitchhass, they got away with one. They got away with one. So I'm actually glad they're here. But you got Trevor Lawrence. You got Brock Purdy, who's been heating up lately. I know they didn't play so well last night, but it was a lot of injuries. I don't know what Arizona's going to do. I doubt Kyler Murray's back. But we got Cam Ward, who Cam Ward showed flashes again, but I don't think his team's going to be good enough in running for them to be really, really competitive. The more of the story is our schedule is definitely tough, but it also goes to show you, right? Like, in my opinion, at least, remember how people were saying, well, Washington ain't going to be, how we got all these primetime games this year. How can you not put us back on primetime this year? I know a lot of people's like, well, the good thing about us not being so good this year is that we won't have a lot of primetime games next year. I disagree with that. I mean, Jaden Daniels is still one of the most talked about players in the league. He's still one of the better quarterbacks in the league. And look at these matchups. You telling me you don't want to see Jaden Daniels versus Joe Burrow on primetime? You telling me you don't want to see Jaden Daniels versus Trevor Lawrence on primetime? You don't want to see Jaden Daniels versus CJ Stroud on primetime, both second overall picks, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm more than certain one of those Cowboy games are going to be primetime. When is the last time you played on Thanksgiving? It's been a couple years since we played on Thanksgiving, right? So I'm more than certain it's probably time for them to run that back here and there. I'm sure one of them Eagles games could be on prime time. Again, especially how they mark it up. I think it's about time we finally get a week 1 division rival. When's the last time we got a week 1 division rival to kick off the season? I'm burnt. The Giants. That's how non-factorish they are to us. We got them this year. What I meant to say was a Philly or Dallas week 1. You know what I'm saying? To start the season off. I think the last time we got one of those was probably 2020 when we got Philly, right? We got Philly week 1, and I think week 2 we had Dallas. Oh no, I think 2019 was Dallas because that's when they wore them the blue jerseys here, and that was Terry McLaurin's first game at home. So we got Dallas week 2 that year because 2019 we got Philly week 1. I'm going down a rabbit hole, but needless to say, I want Dallas or Philly like earlier in the season. I'm so tired of having these guys so late in the season, when we can't even see our guys when they're not healthy, right? I'm tired of Jalen Hurts having the one up on us because he beat us in the NFC Championship, and the one time we beat him is when he got hurt. And Jaden Daniels, I want to see Jaden Daniels versus Jalen Hurts. I want to, and I know it's not them technically facing off, but you know what I mean. I want to see Dak Prescott and Jaden Daniels for a full healthy game, right? So first and foremost, I want to pray for health. But this schedule is definitely really tough, but it's going to be fun. Like you can make an argument for a majority of these games to be prime time. Like that Trevor Lawrence has changed with Liam Cohen as his head coach. So we could see him, get into the MVP talks. That could be a good primetime game. But let's get back to the topic at hand. The Washington Commanders squandered away the opportunity to get the 5th overall pick at best, and now will be a pick 7th. Here's the thing. Although I am a little upset that we didn't lose, at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? If you love a guy bad enough, you'll trade up, right? I don't know if there's a guy in this draft class that you're willing to trade up for, that you even deem that good to begin with. So maybe 7th isn't so bad after all. I just look at it as being at 5, you would have had the premium spot, right? A lot of people talk about Bailey, who's a lot of fan favorites now as the pass rusher out of Texas A&M. If you would have got the 5, he probably would have been there. There's no guarantee that he's there. I was a big Cornell Tate fan because I felt like, although I do think I technically deem pass rusher as a bigger need, I was like BPA. That's how I'm operating. I still am operating in that fashion. However, I was like, man, Cornell Tate be there at 5. We could take him, right? He's not gonna be there at 7. Cleveland's gonna get him, right? Cleveland's gonna finish what with the 6th overall pick probably. Now, let me see if the draft order is actually set. Let's go on Twitter to see if the draft order is set. Now I know Baltimore and Pittsburgh has to close out the regular season for us, so we probably won't officially be set into those two guys, or two teams, I should say, face. But I think we should have a good conception or concept of uh, what the draft order looks like. And let me just go to Tankathon very quick. I know Tankathon probably got it up. Tankathon. Let's see if Tankathon has it up to date right quick. Because if Tankathon has it up to date right quick, then we can look at that as well. So Tankathon has it as Las Vegas. They locked in the number 1 pick today. Jets at 2, Arizona at 3. They're at, Tennessee's at 4, New York's at 5, Cleveland's at 6. We're at 7. Have we lost today? Had we lost and went to 4 and 13, we would have had the 5th overall pick. And the only person that would have stopped us from having the cream of the crop choice would have probably been Tennessee. Probably would have been Tennessee. They probably could have took Cornell Tate. They probably would have took a nice pass rusher, you know. But now that you're at 7, I feel like that almost puts you out of the range for one of those elite. I get Ruben Bain probably would be there, but a lot of people are scared off by his measurements. I know there's some other Arvell Reese as well. My biggest guys is Cornell Tate, who I like. And the reason why I like Cornell Tate so much, or Jordan Tyson as well, is because there's no guarantee that they bring Debo back. If it was up to me, Juan Gotti, there's no way in hell Debo Samuel's not back. Right? I don't get why fans don't want him back anyway. But there's no guarantee that he's back. So instead of just going on hope and prayers, draft a young guy that can eventually exceed Terry McLaurin. Right? Terry's obviously still your best guy right now, but like it could be a DK Metcalf JSN situation where DK slowly faded out as the one. JSN obviously rose as the number 1. That's what I really want. If I'm being completely honest with you, that's what I really want. I know we need a pass rusher bad. I really do. But that's what I want. I want somebody that can grow into be a top tier number 1. As much as I love Terry McLaurin, he's 30, right? And he's not old, but he's not going to be a top 5 receiver in a league, right? I want that kind of guy. And one of these receivers at the top of the draft, hopefully they can grow into that. I don't know if Cornell Tate has that all over him. I don't know if Jordan Tyson has that written all over him yet, right? But then also, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think number 7 screams Caleb Downs. I don't want Caleb Downs, and it's not because of him as a player. I think he has all the tangibles to be really good. But unless you tell me, my thing is value, right? Is the safety position really that position where you take one? Is he that good, y'all? I know a lot of y'all watch more college football than me, but is he that good to where it's like, hey, Juan, you can't pass up on this safety? Like when I think of safety being at 7, I think Kyle Hamilton, I think Derwin James, I think Sean Taylor. Like unless he's on that kind of level of dominance, I don't feel comfortable taking him at 7, but I think 7 is that screams Caleb Downs to me. I'm not gonna lie. Had we got to 5, we could have had choice after choice. But that screams Caleb Downs to me. What says y'all in the comment section? And of course, feel free to call 240-804-7327 for the final time this year to leave your voice note if you want to. But that screams Caleb Downs to me. At number 7, I see Jeremiah Love in the comment section. I would love Jeremiah Love. Here's the thing. I know they need a defensive end. I would love for us to draft a defensive end. But here's my thing, too, though, Kawhi fan. We've drafted for needs too many times in the past years, and that has came back to bite us in the ass. So as much as I don't want Caleb Downs here, not because of him as a player, but because of the position of safety being drafted so high, if they deem him BPA, and if you're sitting at 7, and let's say, and I know Mel Kiper isn't the most, accurate or the most liked that does these draft big boards. But if we're sitting at 7, and at the top of his draft board you have Caleb Downs there, as much as I would be like, I don't know if safety is worth taking this high, I'm not mad if they deem him BPA. You know what I'm saying? With Jeremiah Love. I love Bill, but I do think Jeremiah Love and Bill would be amazing. Here's my thing. Did y'all see C-Rod this season? Did y'all see C-Rod today? How can you get rid of that? Now, I'm not telling you C-Rod has performed to the point where it's like he has to be, the number 2 back, even though I feel like he's earned it. If they go out and they get Jeremiah Love, he's clearly not gonna be a number 2 back. So we got options there, because if you get Jaden Daniels back healthy, of course, Jeremiah Love and a backfield with Bill, right? Jeremiah Love and Bill, love Bill throwing up the heart after he scores a 70-yard run, that would be lit. And something that I have to add, like that we know, running backs are making a comeback in this league, man. Like they're becoming more important, and not just we can get a good back in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, right? No, Bijan Robinson is changing the game. Did you see what he did today? Did you see what he did on Monday night against the Rams? Like this guy is one of the ones, Bijan, Jameer, Saquon, James Cook, Josh Jacobs. I like the 2-headed monster of the DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai in Chicago. Like, and I'm sure there are other guys, other teams that I'm clearly missing that has really good backs as well, like Travis Etienne. Like, running backs are becoming relevant again, to where the point is like, hey, it's not such a bad idea taking a running back, Ashton Genty, running back in a top draft pick. So I'm all for taking Jeremiah Love, because that's an offensive weapon. Do you see how he catch out the backfield as well? Do you understand how fast this offense would be with Jay and Bill and Love in a backfield? You bring back Deebo Samuel. We got the most salary cap in the NFL. You telling me you can't go out and get Kyle Pitts? You telling me you can't go out and get Isaiah Likely from Baltimore? Let him come down 45 minutes to an hour down I-95? You telling me you can't do that? Like, there's no excuse for Adam Peters this offseason. I love AP. I kind of give him the benefit of the doubt, like how I'm giving Jay and how I'm giving Bill, how I'm giving DQ, how I'm giving Terry this year. It was just a wash of a year. But this is the year that Adam Peters has to turn it up. If he doesn't turn it up this year, a lot of you all that question Adam Peters right now are it's going to be, dare I say, understandable, because you cannot squander up the position that we're in right now. We're in such a really good spot. The 7th overall pick. As much as I'm bitching, crying about not being able to move up 2 spots, who gives a hell? 7 is still damn good. And you got the most salary cap in the NFL. You got the most free agents in the NFL, meaning more likely than not, you're going to have so many holes to fill and so many opportunities to bring in better guys. You cannot squander this opportunity if you're Adam Peters. So, again, whether you think it's Caleb Downs at 7, you think it's Jeremiah Love, you think it's Arvell Reese, you think it's Ruben Bain, you think it's Cornell Tate, you think it's Dan Bailey, or whatever the dude name is out of Texas Tech. I'll Texas A&M. I'll learn it because he's been damn good. Whoever, you gotta strike. And another thing that we have to understand is, as well, ladies and gentlemen, is we have this first round pick is ultra important. I mean, ultra important, because we do not have a single pick on day 2. Now, and let me double check my math just to be sure. But we don't have a single draft pick last time I checked. Day 2. But let me just double check that right quick, so I can have that confirmed. So we have we have the 7th overall pick. Let me go to Google, because who the hell uses Bing in the big 2026? Commanders draft pick. Let me do this right quick. So we have the 7th overall pick. We don't have a second. We actually have a third. So I stand corrected. We have a day 2 pick. It's just round 3. Sorry. Um, then we don't have a 4th. We have a 5th, and we have a 6th round pick and a 7th round pick. So I actually stand corrected. We just don't have a second or a 4th. But still, regardless of the fact, we need this first round draft pick is ultra important because unlike last year or the year before that when you had 3 opportunities to draft second round guys and you went with um Johnny Newton and Ben Sinnott and all these other guys, you don't have no second round pick. You have a third round pick, but you know who's going to be there. This first round pick is ultra important. It's ultra important. T. Rose says too much offense will turn into the Bengals. That's why I'm all for getting the pass rusher at 7. I just don't know if the guy that everyone is falling in love with will be there. And unlike guys like Micah Parsons having character issues coming out of drafts that made him fall down boards, Ruben Bain fell down has concerns and red marks to his name because of his length, and that's not something that you can change, right? That's just who he is as a player. So the short limbs that he has, the small frame, that really entices you at 7. That's what you have to ask yourself. You know what I mean? We have a third. Yeah, I just saw that. I just saw that. We don't need Love, but we need Downs. Again, that's my thing, and maybe I have to watch more stuff on Caleb Downs. I just get scared off at the fact that it's the safety position. I'm not gonna lie. If we was at 15, and I know Downs probably isn't gonna be there, but I'm just saying, have we been in like 15, middle of the pack? Okay, I'd be like, all right, safety's cool, but we're in such a spot where it's like, bro, this has to be a blue chip game changer player. We have to hit on this one. Like it is a must. If we don't hit on this player, bro, we are cooked. We are cooked. So that's just how I feel. Now, you could honestly enlighten me, and you can honestly feel different. You could feel like you can honestly feel like, hey, look, hey, I Caleb Downs is worth 7. J Love, Bill, Sierra, ooh, hey, Aubrey, that running back room, that might be the best in the league right there. C-Rod, Bill, J Love, mm, mm. So much for a two-headed monster, but you got a three-headed monster. You got Bill as the head, J Love as the body, and or should we go J Love? Let's put C Rod as the body because C Rod is obviously the bigger back, or burlier back and can finish through contact. So we go C Rod as the body. Let's go. Let's go Bill as. Let's go J Love as the feet, Bill as the mind. No, let's go J Love as the mind, Bill as the feet. That would be crazy. Not gonna lie. Sounds like a good problem. It's not a bad problem. My thing is, if we would have been at 5, we would have had an even gooder problem. Even though that's not a word, we making that up in the Big 26. Gooder problem. Trade back with the Jets or Dallas and get 2 first-round picks this year and maybe a third. I'm not all for trading back, and here's why. I get we need to capitalize and find ways to get better picks, but more as we seen with Adam Peters' first draft, just because you have more picks doesn't mean you're guaranteed to get better players. That could just mean you got more opportunities to strike out and miss. I am a part of the fan base and majority of the guys and girls out there in Commanders land that feels like you cannot miss the opportunity to get a blue chip player at 7. Now, can you trade back and still get a blue chip player? Yes, but that requires your GM to actually be able to draft. Now, if you really want to try, Adam Peters' skill and his scouting department skill to be able to analyze and find talent, then sure, trade back, of course, right? Do your thing. But if you want to just kind of ensure that we may have a higher chance to select a blue chip player, which we need, by the way, because we don't have many of those on the roster right now, you don't want to trade back. You want to just allow Adam Peters to pick at 7. If I'm being honest, I get it. We don't have that many mid round picks, but it's not as bad as I thought because we actually have a 3rd round pick. I just don't think you can draft. You can miss the opportunity to draft a 7th overall, or draft at 7, because you're not gonna be back here next year. I don't ever plan on being back here, and I don't think we're gonna be back here anytime soon. Again, barring any type of catastrophe at the most important positions on the team. I doubt we're ever picking this high again. So you got to take advantage of it if you want to be honest. Love is it? Okay. Get rid of the whole coaching staff. They say JJ, they screwed up this opportunity, huh? JJ like, bro, look, we could have got the 5th overall pick, man. DQ, I'm tired. Hey, Cliff, I'm tired of you, man. We already got rid of Joe Witt. I'm not there with DQ. Now, if DQ has another season like this next year, I'm done. Yeah, you can start anew. But I'm not gonna say fire him just yet. I'm gonna be on that train, firing coaches and looking at new GMs if next year goes bad. But this is a wash year. You know what? I'll even do you one better. Depending on how they do this off season, given the fact that we're in such a good spot, draft pick wise and salary cap wise, if they sit on their hands this off season and they don't make no type of, I almost want us to have a Patriots-esque off season. You remember the Patriots this past off season had all that money and went out and spent all that money and got so many good guys. Obviously, Stephon Diggs, and going out drafting Will Campbell, going out getting Milton Williams and making so many good moves this past free agency and offseason. That's the kind of impact that I'm hoping to have this offseason, right? So I'm hoping to be able to get our hands on a star tight end, whoever that may deem to be. Kyle Pitts, if Atlanta's foolish enough to let him leave. Isaiah Likely, you know what I mean? I already mentioned those 2 guys. But that's the kind of offseason I'm looking to have free agency wise, because we have the most salary cap in the whole entire NFL. Not 2nd, not 3rd. You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking at, right? And then when you look at some of these top free agents coming out of this this upcoming off season, you look at the top 40, free agents. Number 1, it's George Pickens, right? I don't think Dallas is going to be foolish enough to let George Pickens walk. They're probably going to franchise tag it, but we've seen teams do the dumbest things, and clearly Dallas is one of them that have done the dumbest things. So it's not a guarantee that they don't. Number 2 is Trey Hendrickson. Now, Trey Hendrickson did not play as much this year due to the core injury, but he's 31 as well. Do you pay Trey Hendrickson, given the fact of when healthy and when's on the field, he's getting you 17 sacks? Do you do that? Who knows? That he's the 2nd most. Let me put up on the screen for y'all so we can see it. We'll get back. Shout out to everyone in the chat joining. We'll get back to draft talk. You know what I'm saying? Let me just switch around the screens. It's all one show. It's all with draft and free agency. It's all the same shit. But we're taking a break, talk about the draft, because I think this is a big this is a big off season for AP regardless. Like, especially, like, you can't be more set up than you are now. You got the 7th overall pick and you have the most cap space in the NFL. Again, not 2nd, not 3rd, not 4th. You got the most. So I'm looking to have a New England Patriots type of off season. Okay, so can you guys see that? Hold on, let me double check, see if you guys can see. Yo, what's going on, chat? Hold up. All right. Yo, my screen is tweaking. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. Screen just got crazy small. 1 second here. There we go. Okay, so hold on, man. All right, so we're gonna take a look at the top 40 free agents, because again, Washington has not just the 7th overall pick, but we have the most money in the NFL this offseason. So George Pickens is number 1. Thank you for the super chat, JJ, or not JJ. Let me see who it was. My guy Drew. Shout out to you. I appreciate it. He says we need 1A, 1B receiver, tandem, wide receiver, not out of the wait. We need a 1A, 1B receiver tandem. I get that. Wide receiver, not out of the Ohio State. I think that's what you're trying to say. Maybe Tomo Cornell Tate. I could be just being slow, and I'm sorry. But I do understand you. I agree with you. But look, Drew, the most number one ranked free agent, I should say rather, is one George Pickens. So maybe Washington goes the George Pickens route, but I don't think Dallas is gonna let him go. Trey Hendrickson, he's 31. He didn't play much of this year, but when he's healthy, he gets you 17 sacks with ease. Do you throw the bag at Trey Hendrickson? Let's see who else. Number 3, Jalen Phillips. He's another guy. I don't think Philly lets him walk. They just traded for him. But he's another guy that's good, but has showed injury concerns over his career. So I don't know if he's worth throwing the bag at, if we're being completely honest. Number 4, Tyler Lindenbaum, my guy John. When we do the Burgundy breakdown, make sure you guys tap in on Wednesday nights on the Burgundy Breakdown YouTube channel. Link is down below in the description, of course. He said, look, I wouldn't be if Baltimore doesn't re-sign Tyler Lindenbaum, I wouldn't be mad at throwing the bag at Tyler Lindenbaum. I know we got, Tyler Biadasz, right? But Tyler Lindenbaum is a former Pro Bowl, one of the better centers in the game. And he's 25. So 3-time Pro Bowler, by the way. So, obviously don't need a quarterback, Daniel Jones. No. John Franklin Myers, defensive tackle from Denver. Hard to see Denver let him walk, given the fact how good their defense has been this year. But Washington probably could cut ties with Deron Payne this offseason. Probably could have a hole to fill. Johnny Newton, maybe he takes a leap in year 3. You got Javon Kinlaw. So that could be something to entertain. Rasheed Walker, offensive tackle. I think we're good at tackles, but he's 25. Aaron Rodgers, he's probably going to retire, given the fact that he said at the start of the year. Alec Pierce, that's interesting. Talk about a contested catch demon, a guy that has not had a good quarterback in his time period in Indianapolis, right? I get it. This year, Daniel Jones started off really good, but he hasn't played with a guy like Jaden Daniels. So what if Alec Pierce piques your interest? Does anyone, have any interest from the Cincinnati guy? Breece Hall, this is a fan favorite as well. If we do not go running back in the draft at Jeremiah Love at 7, do you go out and you get Breece Hall? Bring him in and pair him up with Bill. That could be a name. And by the way, these are the top 40 free agents, chat. After that, we'll get back to the 7th overall pick. As you guys know, Washington is now picking at 7. I'll read some of you guys' comments as well once we look at these top 40 draft picks. So stay around as we're looking at this. So Quentin Lake, ooh, hey, I love me some Quentin Lake, man. That could be one to replace Quan Martin right there, chat. I know everybody screams Caleb Downs. Quentin Lake, I love Quentin Lake, and he's only 26, man. He's only 26. It's hard for me to see LA letting him walk, but they also, I think Cam Curl's contract, our former friend, I think his contract is up as well, so they may have to re-sign both of their guys. Hold on, wait, what? It says, okay, never mind. I'm sorry about that. Okay, never mind. Quentin Lake did just get paid. I just saw that. He did just get paid. So the person of this article did not update it. He got paid. Sorry. So no Quentin Lake. I that damn near slipped my mind. I forgot all about that. Quay Walker. Does anybody still think linebacker is a big need? If you think linebacker is a good need, and the biggest reason why I'm going through these top 40s is because we have the cream of the crop. We're the number one most salary. I have the most salary cap space in the NFL. So we can pick whoever we want. You know what I'm saying? Quay Walker. Do y'all still write it down in the comment section if you think linebacker is still a major need. Frankie Louvu, Jordan McGee, Bobby Wagner. Maybe you get Quay Walker and you're finally able to move off of Bobby Wagner and allow him to walk into the sunset. Something tells me they're going to bring him back though. And shout out to Bobby. He just got 2,000 career tackles. So adding to that first ballot Hall of Fame resume. Quay Walker, ladies and gentlemen, he's only 25 years old. That defense in Green Bay was really good under Jeff Hafley this year as well. Quay Walker, Rashawn Gurry, obviously prior to Michael Parsons going down, Keyshawn Nixon, that linebacker group as a whole was amazing. So maybe Quay Walker is a guy that you can come in and says, yes, linebackers a need. Okay. But we still need to catch him back. Brees Hall could be that for you as well. By the way, he's a catching back. So Quay Walker, Alontae Taylor, and New Orleans. I don't know if you guys watch much New Orleans football, but as of late, they finished off the season really, really good. That defense was a big reason why. Alontae Taylor is a solid cornerback, and he's only 27. No Marshawn Lattimore back next year. Trey is going to be back healthy. Trey Amos, obviously, year 3 of Mikey Sanders still. And although Mikey Sanders still gave up the most yards in coverage, I think he's our Trayvon Diggs for Dan Quinn, if you want to be honest. Like, I remember that year Trayvon Diggs gave up the most yards in coverage, but he kind of equalized it. He equaled it out with having the most interceptions in the league. I think that's going to be Mikey Sanders still. Mikey Sanders is going to be prone to giving up yards, but he's going to be the guy that forced the most turnovers on the team. He has 9 turnovers in 2 years. Alontae Taylor could be a solid pick. Tariq Woolen, aka Reek Woolen. He's a name that's not as intriguing as he once was. After his first year in the league, he kind of hasn't necessarily rose to what we thought he was going to be as an elite corner. Now, Seattle's defense is still damn good with obviously the cornerback from Illinois and Witherspoon and Josh Jobs and all those guys, Nick and Mawarri. But that makes him expendable. But I don't know if he's worth anything. Juwan Jennings, this is another guy. A lot of Commanders fans were hyped up about. They felt like this offseason having a connection with Adam Peters, that Washington was going to walk away with one of these 49er receivers, whether it's Juwan Jennings or Brandon Ayuk comes out of the abyss. He's only 28, so that's an interesting name. Braden Smith, we good off tackles. Mike Evans, I don't think he's leaving Minnesota or Tampa Bay if he comes back. Jalen Watson, that's an interesting name in Kansas City to watch out for as the cornerback position. He's only 27 years old, and he was pretty solid, tall, long corner, so he can be your other boundary corner if you want to go that route. I think Mikey's better on the outside, but they love to force him back inside because of his small stature. Devin Lloyd's an interesting name as well as another linebacker. 27 years old. Dafe Always, a pass rusher, only 27, who got traded to LA later this season. Kenneth Walker is another running back. I don't think Seattle lets him go, but him and Zach Charbonnet are a really good duo, but maybe it's hard for me to see them let K9 walk. But K9 and Brees Hall are both free agents this upcoming year. Maybe Kyle Pitts. That's another one that I talked about earlier. He's a nice name to have that you could potentially have. Kobe Bryant. Boye Mafe from Seattle as well. Another good pass rusher. Seattle got quite a few guys up here this year for Nissan Bread, Travis Etienne. That's another running back on this list as well. But I don't think Jacksonville lets him walk. Like, we'll see what he does in the postseason. But it seems like Liam Cohen has not only unleashed Trevor Lawrence, also Travis Etienne as well. Isaiah Likely, that's another one that I brought up as well. Okay. Cam Curl is due for some bread. Again, he's 26. Do we bring back Cam Curl? Would y'all want to reunite with 31? I ain't gonna lie. I'll be real. The fan and how much I love Cam Curl when he was here, I want him back. But like he's not anything special, right? He's a hard-nosed guy. He's gonna come down, make a tackle, he's gonna come down and be a menace in the run game, and he's just gonna play hard. He's gonna do his thing, but he's not somebody that like you lose sleep over. Like, I gotta have Cam Curl. And the reason why I don't necessarily think he's gonna be back here is because the same group that didn't want to extend him the first time around is the same group that's still here. So it's like, what changed in 3 years? And it's crazy that it's been 3 years. Did he sign a 2-year deal, or like he had to sign a 2-year deal, bro, with LA? It couldn't have been nothing crazy, nothing a 3-year. But Cam Curl, N'Kobe Dean, it's an interesting name. If he can stay healthy, we really don't know what he can turn into. Jamil Dean, solid cornerback from 10 Tampa Bay, Javonte Williams. Dallas probably re-signed him. He was way better than what we thought. Joey Bosa stayed healthy this year for the most part, and he was effective for Buffalo's defense. Nashawn Wright, he's had a damn good year in Chicago. I don't think Chicago lets him walk. Jalen Hawkins, Buffalo, David Njoku's in the other side. He's a free agent. Maybe 29. I think he has Cleveland written all over him, but with the rise of Harold Fannin, I don't necessarily know if they deem him as a net necessity to have back, but he just has Cleveland written all over him. Wan'Dale Robinson, and then last but not least, Brian Cook. So those are the top 40 free agents. There are a lot to pick from. If you're Washington, you can't ask for a better spot if you're Washington, right? That's my whole point. You have the 7th overall pick, and you have the most money in free agency to play with, bro. Like, you cannot mess up this opportunity if you're Adam Peters. So it's time. It's time, man. It's time to turn this thing around. Let's see, cornerback Rick Woolen and Kobe Durant. Yes, linebackers a need, but we still need to catch a running back. Dallas could tag someone dumb. I think they'll tag. I think they'll end up tagging what's his face? They'll end up tagging George Pickens. Bring back Treylon Burks for camp. Oh, he will be back. He's earned his right. He's earned his right to be back. I definitely think he will be back. And he's gonna be damn good. I really do think he's gonna be damn good. Dare I say, I could see a receiver room where it's Terry, Debo, and Treylon as your 3. I'm not there yet. I would love for us to go out and add someone else. But if you add Kyle Pitts, if you add Isaiah Likely, if you add Breece Hall or K9 or Jeremiah Love in the draft, like if you add more offensive pieces around Jaden outside of the receiving room, that necessarily doesn't that are effective, borderline elite, that lessens the importance to have such an elite wide receiver room, which allows you to get away with having a Treylon Burks. But I want to see Treylon Burks with a full healthy season with Jaden Daniels. I'm not gonna lie, because it's something to him. He had a damn good day today too as well. But I'm gonna get up out of here, y'all. The game, my guy Philip B. Hey, shout out to my guy Philip B. My guy. It's off-season time now, Philip B. So crazy how fast time goes. I'll be checking up on you here shortly. Off-season time seems to be a good time for the Commanders, because we have a lot to get done and we are in a good spot. Philip B says, I'm kind of shocked we went and won that instead of trying to tank appreciate that the work won. I'm sorry, I'm all over. I'm all over. I ain't gonna lie, Philip B. The lack of spacing got me right there. It got me tongue twisted up there. So that's on me. That's my fault for messing up the comment. My bad. But I appreciate you supporting. You my guy, always supporting. And it's all season time, PB. You know what it is. But yeah, we how they is. Dan Quinn wanted revenge on the Eagles or whatever. We all wanted us to lose and get the 5th pick, but it is what it is. We're still in a great spot. And this offseason we have to turn it up. But we got all season to talk about everything. So I'll be back here. You know what it is. It's your man Juan Gotti. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Enjoy the rest of your night. If you're going to tap into Ravens, still as I would advise, this is for the AFC North crown. This is for the final playoff spot. For lack of better words, the 4th seed in the AFC. I'll catch y'all later. Love each and every one of y'all. Washington Commanders 2025 season is in the books. We won't see the boys back on the field until August. That sucks, but it is what it is. I'll catch y'all later. Love each and every one. Nah, Philip B, you good. That's on me. I love y'all. Y'all be easy. Peace.